welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you guys how to get this super simple glam. I'm also going to show you guys how to do your hair, and everything I'm using is drugstore. I'm also going to show you guys a step-by-step routine starting from skincare all the way to the end, and I'm going to include any tips and tricks that you guys might need. This video is perfect for the girls out there who kind of know a little bit about makeup but not too much. You guys need someone to sit down and really talk to you guys through everything. I know with short form content it's really hard how to learn how to do certain stuff, so hopefully this video is beneficial to anyone out there who just needs someone to just sit down and tell them everything to do, everything they recommend. But yeah, keep on watching and I'll talk to you guys later, or I'll see you guys soon. The first thing I am going to get started on is my hair. I really dislike doing my hair. It's something that I dread doing because my hair is super thick and long, and especially during the summertime it gets really hot, so I like to do anything that is really minimal and super easy to do. The hair tool that I've been loving is the Conair Hot Rollers. I have the blue and black version. You can get these on sale for about $25 to $30 on Walmart.com. I've noticed that buying it on Amazon or Target, it can get a little bit expensive, so definitely look at Walmart first. And the reason why I bought these is because it's Shooty Time on YouTube. She is an OG beauty guru, but she did a tutorial a long time ago of her using these, and I remember my sister bought me some, and then recently she did like an updated hair tutorial using these as well, and that's why I bought them as an adult again, and it's been a really good investment. But these are how they look like. I'll leave them down below. It's been one of my favorite products to use. The only downside is that it is a little bit bulky, so if you're traveling then you might have to hold off on bringing these unless you want to make room for it. Before you use any heat on your hair, I really recommend that you guys use a heat protectant. I'm using the L'Oreal L5 Heat Slayer Pre-Iron Spray, and I believe it's for straightening your hair, but honestly I don't really notice the difference, so I use it for like any heat thing I'm doing with my hair. I like this one because it makes your hair super smooth and also smells really good. I've been using this since the beginning of college and I still use it. Now is the hard part, which is the hair. Like I said, I really hate doing my hair, but once you get this down, it is really easy to do. So in the kit, there are 4 big rollers and then 8 of the normal rollers. I like this set because you get more big bouncy curls. Conair and a lot of other brands have different kinds of rollers. You can get like the multi-sized one where you get like really small ones and then like bigger ones. I personally don't like those because I don't like how it makes my hair look. It's just not uniform at all and it looks kind of silly. So if you're wanting like a really good kit, I recommend getting the bigger ones. I just feel like they look a little bit better and more glamorous. But if that's not your type of look and you want like tighter curls, then you can get the smaller ones. I don't like them. I like this kit more because it's bigger. But anyways, I'm gonna be focusing on the 4 right here, which is the biggest one, and I'm gonna go ahead and just like part my hair. So what I like to do is I like to bring out the bigger section right here, like my framing parts. I like to take this and I just hold it out, and then I take one of the big ones, which is the black one, and go ahead and grab a piece, and then starting from the end, I kind of roll the end piece and grip it onto the roller, and then I roll it up. And as you roll up, you're gonna notice that there's like stray pieces of hair that are just poking out. You're gonna wrap it in. You're gonna kind of smooth it into the roll like that. And once you get to the top, you can go ahead and like push all the hair back and really like smooth it back. And then whenever you're done with that, you're gonna get a pin, and then starting from the skin, you're just gonna push it back and make sure that pin touches the scalp, and that's how it's gonna grip onto your head. So I like to use the black ones. I like to do 2 up here and then 2 on the side, And that's how you really get volume in your hair. I just got done rolling up all my hair. As you guys can tell, I do have like a few hairs sticking out. I don't do it super perfect or pretty, but if you want to go ahead and like sleek everything back and really pin in everything, then you can go ahead and do that. But the reason why I like doing hair rollers is because even if you don't pin it up super perfect, it still always turns out pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and do skincare, which is really important for the makeup look that we're going for, or any makeup in general. I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with the Tea Tree Water by Lush. And that's just gonna prep our skin and get it wet. And then I like to go in with the Causer X Snail Mucin, and I just put like a pump and I rub it all over my face. I like to go in with a moisturizer. This is one of my favorite ones. This is by Causer X. It is the Hyaluronic Acid Intensive Cream. Even though it is summertime, I still really like using this product. I feel like my skin just sort of like eats it up or drinks it up. And if you're oily, you may not like this because it does leave not an oily film, but it leaves like a hydration film over your skin. It's just something that my skin really likes. So even though like I have oily skin, I do prefer that type of feel on my skin. And then I like to go in with the Holy Hydration, Thirst Burst drops. And I'm running out, but I like to go in and put in like a pump or two in my hand. And then put it all over my skin. And I'm so sorry if I'm like speed running through everything. It's just my camera is about to die, so I don't want to spend too much doing skincare. But that's my skin prep for makeup. Moving on to makeup, the first thing you're going to do is prime your skin. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. Sorry, I stuttered. But I'm gonna just take a pump, and I don't really like this primer. I'm just trying to get rid of it. I prefer the pink niacinamide one more, and the Cool Mint limited edition primer. But go ahead and prime your skin, and then you're gonna go in with a tinted serum. I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum, and because it is summertime, I recommend that you guys use something that will work with your skin type during the summertime. Using a expert face brush from Real Techniques, I'm going to load up the product on the brush and just put it all throughout my skin. And if you guys are wondering the trick to really follow skin on camera, I recommend using a lot of foundation. Not too much where your skin cannot like soak it in and set properly, but enough where you're kind of like, oh, that's just a little bit too much. I noticed that whenever you use that amount, it usually looks really good on camera. If you have blemishes, then this is the best blemish concealer. This is by Milani. It is the Conceal and Perfect. And I like to go in and just load it up on areas that have pimples, or maybe I have like extra scarring. I love this concealer. It is my everyday. And then while we were doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and do my under eyes. So lately I've been using the Neutrogena Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Bisque Light Medium 2. And I'm going to put some under my eye in a triangle. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend out the pimple cream, the pimple concealer. Okay, and then I'm gonna blend out the Neutrogena. Okay, now if you want like a really radiant under eye and you want something that would look really good on camera, then I recommend you guys go in with a lighter concealer. I'm gonna use this one by e.l.f. And you're just gonna put like the tiniest amount on the back of your hand, and you're gonna go in with a concealer brush. That is the trick. Don't use like an eyeshadow brush or a small foundation brush. Get like a real concealer brush, and you're gonna load up the product just barely tap it, and then in the innards, you're gonna just tap in the product. Start off with just a little bit, because usually if you do too much, it looks a little silly. So as you guys can tell, like, I need a little bit more. But if you just stick it or put it like right in the innards, you'll notice that it makes a big difference. Just tap it out a little bit. Go in with the other eye. Okay, and that's how I get like a radiant under eye without it looking silly. And if you're really new at makeup and doing this kind of scares you, just go in one by one with layers until you get the right amount of brightness. You don't have to go in with like a dot on your eye and then blend it out. You can put it in the back of your hand and then take a brush and then load up as much product as you want. And that's how you get like a really good under eye without it looking silly. And then your foundation brush, you can just kind of pat out the lines to even it out. So that's how you get a really good under eye without it looking too scary. All right, friends, my camera died, so I'm using my other camera. Please don't mind like the switch up. I'm using the e.l.f. liquid blush in the shade Dusty Rose, and I'm going to put a dot of it on the back of my hand. And then you're gonna go in with a brush. It can be any brush that you want. I'm using this one by e.l.f. It is the small stipple brush, and I'm going to load up a little bit of product, and I'm going to wipe off like the excess too. One thing that really makes your blush look more blended in is if you kind of go up to where you put your concealer, so like around the eye, if you kind of build it around there and then work around it like in this motion, it makes it look really natural and just super pretty. Wondering why are you using like a liquid blush if you're gonna go in with a powder afterwards? I like to go in with a liquid because during the summertime it gets really hot and your makeup can melt so easily. So if you kind of layer your product, then in case the powder comes off, you have a little bit of a stain from the blush. I don't do my makeup like this every day, but if I'm like going somewhere and I know I'm gonna take photos, or I know that I want my makeup to last, then I will do all these extra steps. But is it necessary? No. As you can tell, the inner part of your eye might already be creasing. So if you want, just go in and get like your concealer brush and push in the product again. Or you can go ahead and set it, but I don't like to set it until I'm done with everything. That's just a personal preference. You're gonna go in with a liquid contour or a cream contour. I don't like using cream contour because I find it to be a little bit difficult to use. So I like to use like a stick contour or a liquid one. This is actually a concealer from e.l.f. in the shade Tan Walnut. I like it because it's warm but also cool, so you get a little bit of a contour and a, what do you call it, a bronzer type of look. I'm a little bit limited on what I have because I only pack so much. I'm visiting my parents' house, so I only pack so much, so I'm gonna use up this blush brush to help place this. And you're just gonna place it like where your cheekbone is at, but you're also going to melt the blush and the bronzer together, and that's how you're really gonna get like a natural warm glow. And then the most important part is your jawline. You're gonna make sure you want to put some product there because it's gonna look silly if you're like bronzy on top and pale in the bottom. Okay, and then your nose, I'm not a big contour with cream product on your nose because it can get a little bit messy, but just get like the leftover product you have in your hand and kind of place it there. Place it where you would put like your nose contour. I'm gonna set my under eye with the Wet n Wild soft pink powder. Load up your powder puff, and then the excess you just kind of blot it like that. You want like an even layer of powder. You're gonna look up then you're gonna press from the innards, and then you're gonna pull it out and press. Okay. And this is just gonna create like an even layer of powder over your blush. You're not really looking to brighten up your blush area, you're just looking for a film over it. Okay, so inner, and then push it out. I'm gonna go in with a colored skin powder. This is my shade in 220 in the Fit Me powder. You're gonna load up a brush and you're going to set the perimeter of your face. You're gonna go in with a light pressed powder or loose powder. This is in the shade Fair in the Fit Me powder, and then you're going to get that same sponge and you're gonna put this in the inner part. And that is how you get a bright under eye. You can go ahead and start bronzing your skin. I'm using the Relove Revolution bronzer. You're gonna load up your brush and just kind of go ham with the bronzer. You're gonna go in with that lighter powder again, and you're going to load up your sponge. Take the sharp end of the powder puff, and I have to do it in the mirror, but you're gonna first diagonally place it right here. You're gonna stamp the product. You're gonna stamp it until you get like a sharp line, and then you lightly brush it out. And that's how you get like a really sharp powder placement. Perfect. This down. I like to go ahead and swipe it down so as it sets, it doesn't make a harsh line. For the eyeshadow today, I'm gonna keep it really simple and I'm gonna use one palette. This is one of my favorite palettes that I use for almost every eye look. I feel like it's perfect for like a supernatural glam, or if you just need like really nice neutral colors. This is the Jason Wu palette in Matte Agave. To take the first two colors right here, and I like to load it up on like a really big fluffy brush and just put it all over my eye from the lid to the crease. And I noticed that if you use like one shade all over your eye, it helps the other powders just blend easier. This middle shade right here, as you guys can tell, most of these colors look almost the same, but that's why I like it, because it's just like a very neutral eyeshadow palette, and you can basically find these in any palette that you guys have by like how everything's all in one. I like to place it on the outer third of my eye and then blend it into my crease. I'm gonna go in with the other eye and just do the same thing. Just load up a little bit of product and then put it on your eye. That way if you mess up, then you have room to fix it. Go in with the bronzer that I used all over my skin, and I'm just gonna load up the brush and I'm gonna place it. I'm gonna kind of like drag out the leftover straight into my like the skin right here. You don't have to worry about it looking perfect. You can just kind of get messy with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a shade darker from this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go ahead and place it where we had that bronzer, except we're just going to start building the depth of the color. Add a little bit of warmth again to the eye, and I like using this color. It's a little bit more brown, a little bit more warm actually. I'm going to take that, and this time you're not going to add too much. You're just going to place it like in the middle and then to the outer part. Perfect. And then you're going to take the leftover color and you're just going to kind of brush it out. I'm already sweating. It's so hot here. I'm going to go with some powder. Done with the base of the eye. We're going to go ahead and do I like to call it like a invisible eyeliner. You're gonna go in with a cool tone brown, okay? That's the trick. A light cool tone brown. You're gonna take a brush like this. That's how you really get like a super sleek look without you trying so hard. In your eye in the outer corner, you're gonna slowly wing this up. Place product and kind of work it on your lash line. Anyways, if you just keep doing that over and over again until you build up the desired color you want, it will start to build a very light, natural wing. If you want, you can add a little bit of this brown and kind of deepen up the line. I like to tap the product instead of like dragging it out. You're gonna go in and you're gonna curl your lashes. I'm gonna put on one coat of your normal mascara. I'm gonna go in with the Flutter Habit, the Setup Lash Primer Adhesive. It's not really a primer, it's literally just lash glue in a mascara form. I'm going to use the Falscara by Kiss right here. These are just some leftover lashes. Honestly, anything that you find at the drugstore will work. That looks perfect to me. So I did 2 mediums and then 1 short. And then go in with a short one. Okay, once you're done with that, you're gonna take your fingers and you're gonna blink onto your lashes. I had to take a little break to get in some lunch because my energy was going down, but now that we're done with that, we can get back to the glam. My camera also charged up, so now we're back shooting on the regular camera. But I did my lashes and I used the Kiss Falscara. If you're one of those girls who don't like wearing false lashes because you feel like they just don't look good on you or they low-key just make you look worse, then I recommend getting on like little clusters and putting them on. Those help make your makeup look more glam without taking away from your natural eye shape. So especially to the girls who have Asian eyes like me, I really like wearing these because they just look super natural but also really pretty. All right, so by now you can go ahead and brush off your powder. And then under your eye, you can just sweep it away. I like to go in with bronzer again, and I just like to blend that harsh line. I know there's a reason why we created like a powder creaser here to make it sharp, but sometimes it can look a little too sharp where it's kind of scary. So I like to just blend that out. If you're also wondering what lashes these are, I keep mentioning the Falscara. I got these so long ago, I don't remember what what design they are. I don't know, but this is the number right there. So that's what I have, but like pretty much any of their Falscara lashes will look good. Just make sure they're kind of like natural and wispy. Next up, we're gonna do eyebrows, which I absolutely hate, but one thing that has really helped me with filling in my eyebrows and making the whole entire process much quicker is this brush right here. I'm basically telling y'all to get this brush. I feel like it's amazing and it's good for lazy girls who hate doing like very small detailed stuff. I hate doing stuff like that. But get like a brown and just fill in your eyebrows. And like with this, you just have to do like a few sweeps and you're pretty much done. I feel like my eyebrows, like they have an okay shape, but they're just really sparse. If you don't like wearing foundation because you feel like it makes you look too bare and sort of like, I don't know, whenever I just wear foundation, I just feel like my nose is just super big. And that's why you have to contour and use blush and highlight. So I like to use this same palette. And like I said, what I'm basically trying to tell y'all is get this palette. I feel like it works for everything. I'm going to take this shade right here and this lighter shade. And I'm going to contour my nose. So literally just 2 parallel lines. And like I said, whenever we were doing the eyeshadow, I kept telling you guys to kind of blend your shadow down, and that's gonna help because now we already have a line to follow, and we're just gonna follow that line and we're gonna blend it up and down. I'm so sorry guys, this is like the worst makeup tutorial, but hopefully you guys got something out of it. And you're gonna kind of make like an upside down triangle like that. You guys see? Do you guys see how like that itself almost made this kind of pointy? Do you guys notice that a little bit? And I don't have a pointy nose. I have a big wide nose, so doing that little triangle, it already makes like a little button right here. Okay, and with that button, you're gonna close it like that. Perfect. Now you have like a cute, little nose. Okay, and I don't have a cute little nose. I actually have a big nose, but like once you contour it, you know how to contour it, it looks really cute. And then you can go in with like this vanilla shade, and you can put like a little dot right here. Now that we're done with the nose, we're gonna do blush. And I know you guys are gonna be like, girl, didn't you just do blush? But you're gonna go with a powder blush. And like I said, layering is how you get a really good base. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal True Match in the shade Subtle Sable. I really like the shade, especially if you're into sort of like a glowy summer look. This literally looks like a bronzer mixed with a blush with a little bit of shimmer. And you're just gonna place it on top. And I really wish you guys could see in real life, because on camera it's not picking up like the true tones of my makeup. Like in person, this looks like the perfect amount of blush, but on camera it literally looks like nothing. Also, another trick I learned is stop putting blush on your nose, because it's not cute anymore. I mean, if you like blush on your nose, you can put blush on your nose, but like for certain looks, sometimes it's okay to skip out on it, okay? And that's one thing I learned, that blush not on my nose looks better. Okay, so my camera is basically telling me to hurry up because it's about to die again. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with my lips and some final touches. My lip combo, I put it on TikTok if you guys want like a full look, but I'm using NYX in the shade Nutmeg, NYX in the shade Sandstorm, Imco Beauty in Very Shelly, and L'Oreal in Blissful Blush. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this because my camera is flashing again. I'm just gonna go back and use my other camera. I'm so sorry, guys. Hopefully the format is not irritating you guys. I would be a little irritated, but I'm trying out this camera. Girlies, we couldn't make it on my camera, so now we're using a different camera. I'm so sorry. But I guess now I can like talk normally. But after Sandstorm, we're gonna go in with Very Shelly by Imco Beauty. And you're gonna put this on the center of your lip. This is literally my go-to lip combo, so I will probably use this for my next tutorial. And to those who watch this video, now you guys know. And then you're gonna go in with Nutmeg right here. It's more like a bricky brown color. And then you're gonna go around everything. And you're gonna sharpen it up and add more definition to your lip color. Last but not least, you can leave it like this if you like a really matte look, but I like to go with a pink lip gloss. Blot it just a little bit. There's the hair, super voluminous, and you didn't even have to try. It was only like 5 minutes of putting it in rollers and an hour of you doing your makeup. So that's why I love using hair rollers. Anyways, if this already isn't a sign to wrap up my video, my camera light also died. So yeah, this is my makeup tutorial. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know I haven't been on here in a while, but I wanted to try out my camera and try out this new lighting situation. So hopefully you guys like it. But if you want more tutorials like this, and if you also found this helpful, let me know down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! And also, I forgot to mention, please subscribe, please like this video. I'm really trying to do YouTube for real. So your likes, your comments, your subscribe really matters to me. But yeah, thank you guys. Bye!